Hi, I'm Lippy.
And I'm Grumpy. Together we're Lippy and Grumpy Do Podcasting.
In this episode, it's my birthday! And some other stuff.
Now, Lippy, I know it's your birthday week, but we've got some other stuff. No, it's got to wait. It's got to wait. We've got other stuff to get through. Well, quite, yes.
Let's do it quick then, come on.
Well, we'll do our best. Lots to be said. So last week we looked at caterpillar cakes.
Yes.
And the legal battle between Marks and Spencer's and Aldi. Now, you said, I think, at the end that Marks and Spencer's didn't have much reproach after Aldi's donating their profits to charity. However...
They have now.
Yeah, it looks like they've responded in the worst possible way.
I saw so many people replying to that tweet going, I wasn't backing Aldi, but now I am.
It reminds me a little bit of the episode of Friends where Ross's aunt keeps kissing him on the lips.
Yes.
And he's saying, not on the lips, not on the lips.
Yeah.
But interestingly, it looks like other people are jumping on the bandwagon as well, which had a test of the best caterpillar cakes.
I saw that.
It wasn't Aldi.
It wasn't M&S either.
It wasn't Marks and Spencer's, no.
That can't be good for advertising, can it? That Which have said that your caterpillar cake isn't the best one.
So you would expect Aldi's, Marks and Spencer's
to be number one.
You would, but so often the case it's not. It's the same with mince pies at Christmas.
Yes.
Christmas puddings and things like that. Quite often it's the cheaper brands that are better. So anyway, we'll put a link to that on our website.
There was also a market stall man that was selling knockoff caterpillar cakes.
Quite blatantly as well.
Yeah.
I believe they were called Colin the Counterfeiter or something along those lines. Yes, it was in Barnsley market
store. It's very funny.
Yeah, very funny indeed. And absolutely bang on, apart from the fact he put an apostrophe in Collins. But aside from that, and a snip at $1.99 each. So if you're in the Barnsley area, you can stock up on caterpillar cakes.
I mean, I would. If I walked past that store, I would 100% buy a caterpillar cake.
Yes, absolutely. You'd have to, wouldn't you?
It's just
Mind you, some of them look a bit odd in the photo. They look like they've been assembled in a bit of a rush.
Yeah. Last minute decision.
Last minute decision, yes, indeed. I suspect the caterpillar cake saga will rumble on for a bit longer.
Oh, most likely.
I don't think we're at the end of it yet, so we'll see what happens. So at the end of last week, we had a bit of a discussion about magnolia and what colour that was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was yellow.
It's not yellow.
It is yellow. Well, it's not yellow. It's magnolia colour. But also, you're dead right, it can be some sort of pinky colour as well.
Say that again, sorry, what was that? I'm...
You're right.
Yes, I am.
Well, we're both right. And then some of them seem to be both colours as well, so that's...
I still don't think it's yellow, though, is it? It's not the same colour as the paint. It's more of like an off-white.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, it's more like a vanilla ice cream than...
Yes.
Than vanilla with a touch of banana.
Oh, I love a vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, I do too. Always have. Interestingly, when do you think magnolia coloured paint dates back to?
Is it like first made or first became popular?
Well, first noted reference to it.
85?
What, 1985?
Yeah.
No, you're nearly 100 years out. It was in fact 2nd of April, 1880.
Crazy. 1880?
1880. Due to the wonders
Oh, no, sorry,
of the
I meant
internet.
1885.
No, you didn't. Due to the wonders of the internet, the Thomaston Express is available online. And on the front page of the Friday morning edition, when we used to have 2 editions a day, it says Magnolia White is the name of a new tint of cream colour.
Magnolia White is a new cream colour?
A new tint, rather.
A new tint.
So, new tint of cream colour. So it's been around for a very, very long time. And it is cream colour, not pink. It says so in 1880, and they were right.
They are right. But they're not right to call it magnolia, in my eyes.
Well, you'll learn. Now, some weeks ago, we were given the option of applying for postal voting.
Oh, are you?
Because we've got some elections coming up in next week, I think, beginning of May. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea, because it means you haven't got to go and queue up and mess around and what have you. So, well, yes, we'll apply for that. So last week, the postal vote turned up, and in the envelope were 2 envelopes marked A and B, one piece of paper with 2 perforated ballot sheets, one for the police commissioner and one for the county councillor. The middle bit of this was the return address, and there were some instructions. Now, the instructions were very comprehensive.
Yeah.
But not very well laid out, I have to say. No. Because you look at them and instantly you get brain overload. Your head's go, and it looked a little bit like the instructions for flat pack furniture from a well-known Swedish store, which is nice to say. Lots
of pictures, but not in the right order.
Well, there was
they
lots
kind
of
of
words,
are, but they're
actually.
not.
Yeah. Yes, it was in a bit of a bizarre order. So anyway, I filled it out, and I did what I thought correct. I put the ballot papers in the ballot envelope, and then somehow I managed to get the address sheet in there as well, sealed it all up, put it in the other envelope, sealed that up, looked at it and went, oh, you can't see the address. So I had another look at the instructions. Oh, no, the address one doesn't go in the ballot envelope, it goes in the other one. So anyway, I managed to peel them open because I'd only just shut them.
Oh, but now they're going to look tampered.
That's exactly my thought. So I don't know whether my vote will count or not. Well, they should do, because I've not messed the ballot sheet.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess they haven't been like...
So if they look
but people could have just taken a ballot sheet out and put another one back in.
No, because they're all numbered.
Oh, okay.
Yes, which is an interesting thing when you think that votes are supposed to be anonymous in the UK. They're not, because they're all traced back to ballot sheets and numbers and what have you. So, yes. Anyway, so I informed Wife of Grumpy of my catastrophic mistake and urged her not to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And she didn't do the same thing. She did something completely different.
But still not right.
Still not right. Managed to get the ballot papers in the ballot paper envelope and put that in there, but then put the address card behind the ballot envelope. So all you could see through there was the ballot
envelope.
So that wasn't going anywhere. So that had to be peeled open. Yeah. So then there was some confusion about whether that was the right one or not. So yes. So we got there in the end. I think third time lucky.
I might just go and vote at a voting station.
In hindsight, it would have been a lot easier, but job done now, and don't have to go and queue up with lots of coughing people in masks.
True. So I think it was last week that it all came to an end, because it was all over my Facebook. But a couple of months ago, someone called Josh decided to make a Facebook group chat with every other person called Josh that he could find on Facebook in the UK, and basically suggested they had a fight to see who the best Josh was, and that the best Josh would be the winner would be crowned King Josh.
So this was a physical fight, not a war of words.
Yeah, this was a physical fight. So they all were going to meet up in a field and have a physical fight, but not a serious fight, not actually like punching people in the face.
Just sort of pushing and shoving.
Yeah, well, from what I could tell from the pictures in the article, they all had swimming noodles, the foam cylinder things.
Yes.
Yeah, so they had those, and there was one guy dressed up like Luke Skywalker.
There's always one.
Yeah. So they were fighting with those. So it was quite lighthearted. It wasn't like serious fighting. But so many Joshes turned up to this Josh fight. And I'm not too sure how you got out or you won the fight. But the winner was a 9-year-old boy. So he was crowned King Josh. He had a Burger King crown on. And so someone had made up a golden belt, and they were raising him in the air, chanting.
Fantastic.
It just honestly looked like, I wish I had known about it to go and watch, because it looked absolutely hysterical.
That would have been quite funny.
Yeah, but very lighthearted, and it looked like a very good, fun Josh fight.
Joshing,
yeah.
Good joshing.
Good joshing.
Reminds me a little bit of Dave Gorman, before he was as famous as he is. Wrote a book on finding other Dave Gormans, And he went all over the world doing this, and he press gang his mates into driving here, there, and everywhere to go meet other Dave Gormans, not mate with them.
No, meet them.
Yeah. An incredible story, and he wrote a very entertaining and successful book from it, and launched a TV career. So, yes, maybe 9-year-old Josh will do the same.
Maybe King Josh will be a famous King Josh one day.
Now, as ever, we had a missive, I'm going to use that word again, from Davros.
Missive.
Who also shares the same birthday week.
He does. I didn't know that until we saw that email.
No.
It's my birthday week, but he can share. He can have 40% of it.
Anyway, so he says he's taking a week off next week. So there'll be no Davros missive next week. But listener, if you would like to write into us, we're always open for suggestions and critiques.
Definitely.
You may ignore them, but we'll definitely read them.
We might just laugh in your face, but
no, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't laugh in your face. We'd laugh behind your face.
Oh yes.
Podcast at lippyandgrumpy.uk will do the trick.
Every time she calls me, you're on the podcast.
Oh, sorry. I'll hang up.
I've answered live on podcast news.
Oh no. Okay. Sorry.
Bye. Oh no.
So, Davros was very impressed with Aldi's social media response to Marks and Spencer's over the Caterpillar. He said far more effective than Davros's way, which would be to put chocolate finish on the back end of the cake, which I guess would just make it a little bit different rather than fighting. He then makes I think it's a Game of Thrones reference, but as I've never seen that, I have no idea what he's going on about. So we'll ignore that. He also gives us top marks for solving the Doctor Who riddle. And would you like more? Yes, please.
Oh, I love a riddle. Can they be a mixture, though? Because I personally won't get many of the Doctor Who riddles.
No, well, I didn't. I had to look it up.
That's cheating.
Well, not really.
Joking.
Anyway, he then talks about Line of Duty, which is something I want to talk about as well, because it is the highlight of my week at the moment, apart from recording this podcast.
Obviously. And obviously of next week, because it was my birthday.
Well, it's also the last Line of Duty as well, which is somewhat more important.
What night is it on?
Sunday.
That's all right, as long as it's not on my birthday.
Anyway, this week's Line of Duty had the best line possibly in the history of television ever by Ted Hastings. Oh, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and the wee donkey. Which was just so unexpected.
Is he Scottish as well?
No, he's Irish.
Oh, okay. Irish. That's why it's the wee.
Yes, wee donkey. Yeah, very, very funny. And that's done the rounds on social media quite substantially this week. It's not surprising. I do have to take issue with the driving scene, though, where they appeared to execute a J-turn in a Mazda MX-5 using the handbrake. That's not how you do J-turns. Don't use the handbrake. So don't try that one at home.
Don't try that one. I'll ask Chris. He can see if he wants to try and give one a go.
Yes, well, don't use the handbrake. Well, in the movies, they have the ability to lock the front brakes independently of the back ones, which is why they work so well in the movies. But when you try it in the forecourt of Shell petrol station, you end up demolishing the flowers. Not that I've tried. Anyway, Davros talking about Line of Duty, and he seems to think, as a lot of other people do, that Carmichael, slightly annoying superintendent, is actually the H character that they've been hunting for about 6 series.
Yeah.
So that's possible, but I think it's a little bit too obvious, to be honest.
There is a very good saying. It's not the person that you most suspect or the person that you least suspect. It's the person you middle suspect is the person that is...
Yes, possibly.
Yeah.
There used to be set formulas. So Midsummer Murders, the murderer...
Loved that show.
But in the third segment, the murderer would be introduced. So you wouldn't see them in the first 2 bits, but the third part, they would appear. And Morse, which I thoroughly enjoyed watching.
That's a good one too.
First day. Yeah, a really good one. You had no idea. Even when they revealed the murder, you go,
What?
Who's that?
I don't remember seeing them.
Where did they come from? So that was a little bit left field. Davros's prediction is that there'll be some sort of gunfight between Carmichael and Double Tap Kate, as he called her.
Yes.
Super Ted retires and Steve are not suspended. Oh. So we'll review next week. Yes. See how good he is.
I've read a very funny article about, because it's the two male detectives, isn't it? And then the female one. Or the police person that's in the meme. So,
you read something very funny, but you have no idea what the characters are.
I don't know who they are, but it was really funny. So it was basically saying how she, in every single poster or preview picture of Line of Duty, always has her arms crossed because the other two take the other poses first. So one of them will either go straight and put his hands in his pockets or like lean on something. So the only other pose left for her is to cross her arms, to the point where there's one of them sat around the interview table and she's got her arms crossed on the table.
Oh, I see. Oh, what, in the interview room rather than just standing for promotional pictures? Yeah. I hadn't spotted that. I'll watch that because there's bound to be a massive interview scene in the last one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was quite a big one in last week's one, which apparently was nearly half the programme, which was astonishing. But that's always a set piece of the writer, is the interview scenes. So anyway, we wait for that with somewhat bated breath.
I'll tell you what other show has a great interview scene. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. There's one episode with an orthodontist who they bring in because they think he's killed someone he works with, and they're trying to prove it. And that is basically the whole episode is just them interviewing him, and it's such a good episode. Trying to figure out how to get him to confess.
I'll have to look that one up.
Watch it and then tell me what you think.
Excellent. And of course, interviews are part of our favourite TV series, which is on soon, The Apprentice.
Yes!
Love the interview stage because
most of them have absolutely no clue what they're saying.
Well, no clue, but also they've got to check a parcel. They've just written utter nonsense
in their business plans
or CVs or whatever it is that they've used to get on the programme. That change from year to year, so that's cringingly watchable. It's like watching an accident, quite frankly, from a distance. Anyway,
is it birthday time?
I think it's birthday time.
Ooh. So my birthday's on Monday the 3rd of May. And I like to have a birthday week and a half.
It's more than that.
It's more. I'm definitely one of those people that turns back into a child when it's my birthday. I get so stupidly excited. And I definitely won't sleep on Sunday night. I'll be awake quite late because I'll be really excited.
But just to give a bit of context for listeners, that Charlotte's birthday, your elder sister, is on the 31st of January. On the 1st of February... you start talking about your birthday, and it doesn't stop until the 3rd.
I just get so excited. I wonder when that will go away, because, obviously I'm going to reach a point where I don't really want to get any older.
Well, I reached that point several years ago, so it's not far off.
So I'm going to be a quarter of a century.
Blimey.
Halfway to 50, and closer to 30 than I am to 20.
Yeah, that's very true.
That is kind of scary, actually.
Yeah, it's best not think about it.
Yeah.
Do you know who you share your birthday with? Obviously not the same year.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, William Shakespeare, who was born and died on the same day, obviously not the same year, but the same day, which I think is... I can't work out whether that would be a bit of a bummer or whether that's quite neat.
I feel like it ties it up very nicely.
But it sort of doesn't really, because you've gone a year and a day...
Oh, yeah, no, that would annoy me.
See what I mean?
Yeah, no, that isn't good, actually.
But also, there's a whole load of singers and musicians. So Bing Crosby, probably you've never heard of any of these. James Brown.
Nope.
Pete Seeger.
Nope.
Frankie Valli.
Nope.
Mary Hopkin.
Nope.
Hopeless. Utterly hopeless.
Anyone else interesting?
Strangely... it seems to be all singers you've never heard of, Mr. Shakespeare.
There's got to be someone that I know.
Oh, yes, there is. Rob Brydon.
Rob Brydon?
Yes.
Who's that?
Oh. Have you seen her? Would I Lie to You?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the compere.
Oh, I like him. He's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
very
Rob
good.
Brydon.
He once did Ken Bruce's Radio 2 programme, impersonating Ken Bruce, and nobody spotted it.
That's well impressive, actually.
He's very good with the voices. If you get the opportunity to watch The Trip with Steve Coogan,
Yeah.
he's very good. And they both play sort of amplified versions of themselves, as it were. And there's one scene where there's a bit of a James Bond off. They're all doing different James Bond impressions, James Bond actor impressions. It's quite good. Sandy Togsvig.
Don't know them.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no, I do. She's also a comedian, isn't she?
Yes, and she
did British Bake Off,
hosted
hasn't she?
QI. Yes, she did.
Yeah, then she's the new... Yeah, of course I know. She's funny too. Oh, it must just be hilarious people are born on the 3rd of May.
Oh, another superb musician, Christopher Cross.
Not sure I know who that is.
No. You might have heard some of his records, so.
These all seem to be very old people, though. There's no one...
Well, that's because the new people aren't so famous.
They could still be slightly famous.
Well, yeah, but I possibly wouldn't have heard of them.
Oh.
There may be loads of people on here that are of some fame that I've not heard of.
Poppy Delevingne.
No idea. Oh, I do know who that is.
Cara Delevingne's sister.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
She's a
She
model.
was in...
Poppy Delevingne's in Kingsman.
Yes.
The second one.
What's the other? Riviera, I believe.
I haven't seen Riviera, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
She didn't appear on my list. My list must be of very famous people.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she was that famous, to be honest. Like, I don't think she is known massively. Well, William Shakespeare is quite a cool person to share a birthday with.
It is. It is. Do you know who I share a birthday with?
Who?
Barry Manilow.
See, he's a singer as well, right?
He is a singer.
Yeah, I do. I thought I recognised the name. I do know who that is.
Yes, he may have had one facelift too many as well. So there used to be this theory about how many people you could have in a lift before two people had the same birthday. And it's quite a small number, and I think the number's a little bit of an urban myth. But if you had 75 people in a room, there's a 99.9% chance of at least two people having the same birthday.
Interesting.
Obviously not same year again. Just
same day.
date. And this thing is called the birthday paradox because it defies belief, quite frankly.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense that only 75 people and two can share a birthday.
Yes, you'd think it would have to be 360.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, to be. And in fact, only 23 people, there's a 50-50 chance of two people having the same birthday, which is, ridiculously small.
That is, isn't
small
it?
odds, really. Yeah.
I'm not sure I believe that.
Well, it's true, and there are lots and lots of very difficult equations to work it out. So if you want to study those,
No, I'm good, thanks.
yeah, I thought you would. So we'll post a link to it if you don't like Lippy, you don't believe the scientists, the eggheads, then go and check it out. But yes, very very small amount, but there's some freaky maths in that.
Being May the 3rd, that makes me a Taurus.
Well, in a china shop.
No. It also, because I'm 1996, I'm also the year of the rat. So I'm stubborn and intelligent.
Well, what else is not there? A very good friend of mine has a degree in astrophysics, and one of my favourite pastimes is commenting that he has a degree in astrology.
That would really wind him up.
Really annoyed with that one.
They're very different things.
They are, yes, indeed.
One's
And
a bit
when he tells me
mumbo-jumbo-y.
Well, yeah, but Russell Grant's done well from it.
True.
I keep pointing out.
But he's a very eccentric human being.
Yes, he is. Yes, that's very true. Very flamboyant. Circling back to birthday cake.
Yes.
When do you think the first birthday cakes appeared?
Like the 1700s?
Oh, no, it's a long, long time before that.
What?
Apparently it's the ancient Greeks started it.
No way!
Yep, and they offered moon-shaped cakes as a form of a tribute to the lunar goddess
Interesting.
Artemis. And the Romans carried it on, so they would celebrate birthdays, but only if you were a man.
Oh, obviously.
Christians then thought birthdays were a pagan ritual, and then
Yeah,
did them anyway.
that sounds about right.
To do. And then the Germans in the 18th century came up with the idea of the birthday cake as we know it.
Ah.
That time, the ingredients were quite expensive.
It's only
So
rich people have
obviously
birthday
only
cakes.
rich people would have them. But the Industrial Revolution, which was 1760 to 1820, which is one of my favourite periods in time, because there was so much advancement. We tend to think of things improving dramatically now, but we're improving stuff that we already know. But if you go back to that period
So
in
many
time,
innovative
absolutely,
improvements.
just some earth-shattering inventions and discoveries over that period. And we're going to do a couple of specials.
Yes, we
For the
are.
holiday period, and I'd like to do something like that. So something
I like
that covers-
learning about the industrial. Is that what the Peaky Blinders is based on?
I think that's a bit later.
That is, isn't it? That's not industrial. That's
And there's some cracking museums. There's one in Telford, which Blists Hill.
I like to
which
learn. I would not like to go to a museum.
Why not? Well, you get a day out, and you learn. What's there not to like there?
Lippy and Grumpy's day of fun.
Yeah, okay. Moving on.
But did you know? I don't know how many people know this, but you're meant to keep the top tier of your wedding cake as a christening cake.
Yes. Well, for your firstborn. Yes,
Yeah.
we did that. Yeah, so we chiselled
You
off
did
the
that?
icing and then... Yeah. Well, you wouldn't know. You weren't born then.
And it was actually Charlotte's christening cake.
Yeah.
That's
Wouldn't bother
crazy.
you.
I didn't know people still did it. I knew it was a thing.
Whether they still do it, but that's a good few years
People
ago.
don't do it anymore, mainly because people don't have kids that quickly after getting married anymore. Whereas in the olden days, you'd get married and then...
days.
Well, I'm talking like older, like many years ago, that you would get married and then you would have a kid pretty much like 9 months after.
Well, yes. There's lots of reasons for that. But also people are getting married later in life. And then, your biological clocks and quite frankly your patience are running out.
And also, no one has fruit cake as a wedding cake anymore because it's disgusting.
Oh, it's not disgusting. It is one of the best things ever.
So awful. Nobody likes fruit cake because they don't have it. And you can't keep any other cake that long.
That is not true. I like fruit cake.
But there has to be something wrong with it that you could keep it for that amount of time
Well, not really.
and it still be okay.
It's fine. We kept a Christmas pudding for a year once.
That's the same thing though. There's something wrong with
Yeah,
it
yeah.
if you can keep it for that long and it doesn't go off.
Anyway, we're digressing somewhat. So, presents, an important part of birthdays
Yes.
for some reason. What's on your list?
I actually haven't really made a list this year. I'd like to go on holiday somewhere. I'd quite
Well, I
like,
think we'd all like
or like
that.
a little trip away would be a really nice birthday present. Like, even if it's just down to the coast, in the hotel, maybe a spa weekend, that would be nice. Something, just escape a little bit.
What about a trip to a small workshop in Rudgwick?
No, thank you. Unless you turn it into a spa, and then maybe. There's a brewery there, so
Well, there is, and it is open on a Friday night.
that isn't the worst idea.
So not much on your list.
Not much on my list. I feel like as I'm getting older, I don't want as much. I just want cake.
Well, that's all right. That's easily done.
Yes. Lots of cake. And the excuse to eat cake at stupid times of day just because it's my birthday.
I don't think you need an excuse to eat cake at any time of the day, to be honest. Because
Cake isn't one of those things you can eat whenever.
it is. And Kendal mint cake.
Oh, that stuff is
really cake, is it?
lethal.
It
Lethal.
is lethal,
Can't even
isn't
say
it?
it. I was absolutely shattered doing the Three Peaks. I remember we'd had an absolute horrendous time on Scarfell, and we were trying to work our way back down, and we'd actually found the way back down at this point. Had a piece of that, and I could have ran down the rest of the way.
Well, and back up again, presumably.
Yeah, probably.
We wish you a happy birthday on Monday,
Thanks.
and I'm sure the listeners do as well.
I hope so.
And happy birthday to Davros at some point next week
Yes,
too.
happy birthday, Davros.
So, Lippy, is there a top tip?
And there is a top tip.
Is it one from the Lippy brain?
It is. Kind of. My top tip this week is, if you feel like eating cake, eat cake.
Very good.
Thank you, because that's what I'll be doing from Monday, probably every morning for the next few weeks.
Few weeks? That's impressive.
Well, I'm planning on a lot of cake, you know. I'm expecting cake from you guys. I'm expecting a cake from Chris. So that's quite a lot of cake.
You don't expect to be going home with any cake, do you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
At least a bit.
It'll be fruitcake.
No.
So I have a food-based fact of the week.
Oh, I like food.
Well, you might not like this one.
Yeah.
So in 1974, the US government estimated it had left 150,000 tonnes of survival crackers in disused fallout shelters. And people continue to unearth and eat them to this very day.
No way!
Well, they should have as you say, cake, a bit
Yeah.
like cake, monstrous shelf life.
And if they're
no
survival
best before
crackers
date.
as well, they're probably
Yes,
made
well,
to last a long time.
Well, possibly. It depends on whether the crackers are the survival bit or it's your survival.
That's hilarious. Can we go and try and find some?
Oh, there might be some on eBay. We'll have a look.
Oh no, I want to go and find some. I know that involves...
You're going to dig, are you?
No, I'll watch. You dig. I'll watch.
It must be so good to have staff.
It's my birthday. You dig, I'll watch.
Okay. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
You can help spread Lippy and Grumpy's view on life by leaving a review on your favourite podcast platform.
If you're not sure how to leave a review, or if you download from Spotify, there's some help at lippyandgrumpy.uk/review.
And if you would like to get in touch, email podcast@lippyandgrumpy.uk.
So it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
Bye.